Yo, what's up guys, Rajdeep here, and in today's race review video we have my brother Randeep with us as well.
Hey guys.
So before we get to the actual talking point, which was tire wear in today's race, let's give out a big round of congratulations to Red Bull Racing.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they did a very good job getting the maximum constructor points in this weekend.
They edged out Mercedes by one constructor point.
Oh yes,
that was
really awesome.
Phenomenal. Yes. Now coming to the spin of the race.
Start of the race.
Apparently the same thing for Sebastian Vettel, because that's what he keeps doing for some reason. I mean, I came up with this joke in 2019 after Monza.
And now the commentators are just using the same, line.
Why does he keep spinning?
As Crofty said, you heard it here first. But yeah, apparently that's what's been happening. But okay, let's push past that. Let's get to the tire wear.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently last weekend, so tire wear was already a spectacular issue. We discussed that in the last video as well. Hamilton finishing on 3 tires. So tire wear played a major role, and
I mean that drama added to all the strategy that was needed for this weekend, right?
Exactly.
Especially when Pirelli dialed down on the hardness of the compound.
Yeah, so Pirelli thought, what would spice up the 70th anniversary race? They were like, let's dial down the hardness of the tires. They went for one section softer compounds, and
I mean that led to very great strategies actually. So yeah,
true, very true. So it was the first time since 2014, since the dawn of the turbo hybrid era, that nobody started on soft tires on a dry weekend.
Yeah. And I mean, you also saw a bit of drop in confidence from the teams, right? I mean, they had to think, okay, how should we do the pit stops?
So let's park tire wear for a bit and let's get to the biggest winners of the race.
Yeah, and of course, we start with Red Bull Racing. I mean, both guys did very good job. Verstappen and Albon, big kudos to them. They both gained 4 spots on the grid.
Yeah, Verstappen starting P4, ended up in P1, and Albon started
P9, I think, yes.
He ended up P5, so...
Yeah, it was very good. And I mean, they both got good constructor points, right? Yeah. The highest this week.
35 constructor points for Red Bull this weekend, and Mercedes got 34, even with the fastest lap that was set by Hamilton.
Yeah. And I mean, and the next one goes to Leclerc from Ferrari. I mean, that guy did a very good job with this Ferrari.
He's definitely over pushing the Ferrari. The Ferrari does not stand at P3 and P4 right now. I mean, let's face it, facts are facts.
Yeah, and I mean, this weekend, it was not because of somebody's mistake. This was really Leclerc.
And his race pace and his racecraft.
Yeah, exactly. This is really pure talent, pushing the Ferrari to its limit. And you could see that in his voice, right? When he finished the race, he was really ecstatic.
Yeah, he was almost as ecstatic as when he won at Monza for the first time. When Ferrari won Monza the first time for many years, the radio call was very similar to that.
So give a notable mention to Racing Point.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, so both guys finishing on good points on the table, and Nico Hülkenberg for qualifying
P3, yes.
Yeah.
And they finished P6 and P7. But let's now get to the biggest losers for the race.
Yeah.
We'll start off with the biggest loser.
Mercedes AMG.
Apparently, Mercedes AMG is not Mercedes AMG. It is Lewis Hamilton AMG.
Or whatever brand you want to add to that guy's name.
Yeah, I mean, okay, Mercedes needs to get this straight, that it's a team sport, right? We saw what happened to Ferrari when Ferrari put all the eggs on the basket.
Yeah.
You see where Vettel is now and you see where Leclerc is now. So you cannot do this.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, having all said and done, you saw the dejection on the faces of these two racers. They were P2 and P3. I mean, any other team would be ecstatic. I mean, they were both on podium.
Yeah.
Right? And you had a podium in all the races. Yeah, Bottas, I think he was also let down a bit. His sportsmanship spirit was also really bad. I mean, he tried to not really respect the trophy. He just lifted the trophy for a while and then he put it down. I mean, all said and done, yeah, you cannot show disrespect to that badge.
Very true, I agree with this. And yeah, okay, the team let you down, alright. So yeah, I get Bottas' perspective that he has been screwed over by the team. But
you could see that he was really angry, and the only consolation he got was his team said, okay, now you're free to race.
Oh yes, apparently, so Bottas is on a 10-lap old hard tires. Hamilton on fresh hards comes up behind him at the speed of naught. In a lap and a half, he goes up 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And Bottas gets a call from the team, like, yeah, what's up? So he's like, Bottas, you're free to race Hamilton. He must have legit looked at the guy on his phone. Like, so you're telling me my Williams is allowed to race with a Mercedes behind me? Thank you so much, team. That is amazing news.
But I think kudos to Bottas over there, because he was more careful about his tires than about getting that P2 spot.
He still put the team above him. He gave space, as they said that you are allowed to race, but give space. He did that.
Yeah, and he was trying to save his tires, so that was a good strategy call from him.
Yeah, definitely. He knew that this was not his race anymore. He did not know where it went away, but he knew at the end that it was not his race anymore.
And now let's move on to the pit stop strategy. I think for me, in terms of pit stop strategy, Albon and Leclerc were the winners. They actually used some sort of strategy. Albon really making his pit stop much earlier in the race. Trying to avoid traffic.
Yeah, he pulled a major undercut on the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Leclerc too, he pulled up a one stopper, right?
Yeah, so and he's the only one who pulled it off. And the only one who saved Pirelli's ass was Nico Hülkenberg. He was the only guy who used the soft compound.
The Hulk to the rescue, apparently. So I think, yeah, that's about it. The race was pretty straightforward from there on out. Not much changed except for the people who gained a lot. As I mentioned, the teams and the players who gained a lot.
But at least there was a lot of drama this weekend compared to last weekend.
Yes, it was not just like secluded to the last 2-3 laps or the safety car periods. There were no safety cars whatsoever, and still the race was fun.
Yes, and I liked Verstappen's joke. That was a very good joke.
Keep yourself hydrated, guys. We'll see you guys the next time in the race review. Bye bye.
Bye. Take care.